let me ask you this. Have you ever unexpectedly become a leader of a group, whether that's in a professional or just like more chill context? Or had somebody in that group or outside of that group just in your life make communication difficult for you? That's very normal. That's the world that we live in, and that's kind of what I'm going to be addressing today. So I'm going over how leadership theories help me develop my leadership skills, and then how I handle communication with difficult people and what I would change about how I've done it in the past. So leadership and conflict management concepts have shaped me personally a lot and how I communicate with others in my daily life. So the first question I wanted to go over was about how can the information that we've learned about in this leadership and communication class help me develop my leadership skills. So using point leadership theories have helped me improve my ability to guide and communicate with the others around me. So using these clear frameworks that they have for explaining how communication becomes effective is a great thing. In chapter 18, we went over both transformational leadership and situational leadership, and those are two really big ones that fall under this category for me. So transformational is just like inspiring with communicating like a shared vision of sorts, and then that helps increase group participation. Then with the situational leadership in specific, it's inspired by, or not inspired, but it uses like matching needs and readiness of the team in front of you for your like specific leadership ways, if that makes sense. And then changing that like leadership depending on who you're working with. So like the teammates in front of you, your coworkers at hand, etc. Aside from that, in chapter 10, we went over expert power, and that's another one that I really wanted to use for this, because in expert power, knowledge becomes a positive influence form. And then expert power is built more so on trust than just like a specific status of sorts. So like you're going to this person because you trust them and what they know, as opposed to them just having like this title or this position that should make them credible for these things. When applying these leadership theories, it helps me become more supportive of my team and adaptive to those around me, and just overall a little bit more confident with my leadership skills and the way that I'm communicating. The other question I wanted to use was the one about having communicated with a difficult person. So how did I communicate with this person? Was it effective or ineffective? The point for me was, obviously I've been in the working world for about 6-ish years now, because I'm 21. So I've obviously over time encountered coworkers who challenge my communication abilities. That's just how it is. Conflict management helps me learn how to communicate in a more effective way, essentially. So the examples for that were the two from chapter 10 that I pulled were avoiding versus collaborating conflict styles, and then the use of I statements. So in a lot of these cases, originally I used like an avoiding style to just kind of stay out of these issues. But if I had used a collaborative style, it would have helped me lead to a faster resolution and just make it a little bit more effective. And then I've also used like I statements, so I'm just kind of expressing my concerns and not really trying to address the problem at hand. So like, I feel dismissed when you say this, or you make me feel like stuff like that. It's just like those things could have definitely helped me become a more effective communicator. From chapter 18, emotional intelligence. So just being aware of how I emotionally react to things would definitely help me create a more respectful communication style. So these things have really helped me. Leadership, the things that we've learned in this class about leadership and management conflicts have really helped me like basically change how I communicate with others. But these were the two questions that kind of stuck out to me as the ones that I wanted to use, so that's what I did.